They say be prepared for anything, and with scammers stealing people's identities and opening up fake credit applications, how do I prepare for something like that?
Well, Rob, you can initiate a credit freeze or just block access to your credit report. This way, any lender who wants to create a new account or open a new credit under your name will not be able to do it without your direct consent.
That's great. I mean, you're icing out the scammers and keeping fraud at bay. So how do I go about doing a credit freeze?
Well, in order to freeze your credit, you need to contact each one of the 3 major credit bureaus. That includes TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. You need to contact them by phone. You can also do it online or by mail. You will need your social security number, date of birth, and address. You might also need a form of identification, or they may do one of these 2-factor authentications with you in order to make sure that it's you who is freezing the credit. It would be a good idea to make sure 100% that you are talking to the credit bureau that you want to talk to when you're giving this information, like your social security, because it is sensitive information and there are scammers out there.
All right, so once it's frozen, is there a way to unfreeze it or at least thaw it out when you need it?
When you freeze your credit, it's usually frozen for just 1 year, so that's something to keep in mind. You can unfreeze it temporarily if you need to open a credit for, say, maybe a mortgage. But you need to do this in advance. It does only take a few minutes. You just need to call and give them the PIN to unfreeze it. They will provide that to you.
So it's frozen, it's locked away, but can you see your own information or anyone else for that matter?
You can see your own information. Current creditors, marketers, and some government or even child support agencies may also have access to this information. An employer or potential employer can also have a limited access or permission to look into your credit.
So there seems to be a lot of advantages to doing this. So should I just keep it frozen all the time?
You don't need to keep it frozen all the time, unless, of course, you feel that your identity has been jeopardized. It'll keep your account safe and, more importantly, your money.
And finally, Betsy, are there any drawbacks to using a credit freeze?
It might get on the way if you are actively looking for a new loan, say if you're actively looking for a house or trying to buy a new car. You do have to temporarily unfreeze it. Another setback is if you are looking to save money on car insurance, insurance companies may not have access to your credit report and therefore may be able to increase your rates rather than lower your insurance rates because they don't have access to your credit. So those are the only 2 things to keep in mind. But freezing your credit does help keep scammers at bay. So if you can freeze it, do it.